Hey Christina, it's Matthew here with freeprescriptionlenses.com, and with the help of my GoPro camera I'm going to show you how I cut prescription lenses with Transition 7 Gray for your RayBan 9052S color 100 in the 47 eye size. I'm going to take everything out of the original packaging. This is your little RayBan case. Of course, this is part of the Youth Petite series. These are kids frames, but don't let that stop you. You are a petite gal and this is going to look great on you. Now this is the junior version of what I'm wearing. I have the silver metallic color on, which is color 6144, and of course my model number is the 2132 New Wayfarer. This is the 9052S Junior Wayfarer. And I'm going to pop out these original sunglass lenses, and I'm going to cut transition lenses now for your frame. I'm going to put your frame into the tracing element of my edger, wake it up, and hit trace. This stylus is going to come up and it's going to trace the shape of the right lens before moving over and tracing the shape of the left. Here at freeprescriptionlenses.com, where everyone loves a bargain and no one is disappointed in quality. You buy a genuine, authentic RayBan frame and you will receive free, clear, single vision lenses, or non-prescription fashion lenses if that's what you want. My receipt has my federal ID tax number, so if you have vision insurance or unused flex dollars, you can get reimbursed from this purchase. Of course, this frame and one pair of lenses sells for $99. You paid the extra $50 to upgrade to the transitions. Now your pupillary distance is 57, which is 28.5 in each eye. So I'm going to type that in. We're going to get down to 28.5. I overshot it. Here we are, 28.5. Let's go ahead and get your lenses prepped. I'm going to take them down here with me. Your right eye reads -50 minus a quarter at 65. We've got -50 minus a quarter. In fact, let me go ahead and mark these. This is your right lens. This is your left lens, and you're going to get these original sleeves to verify that this is Essilor brand Transition 7 Gray lenses. So your right eye is -50 minus a quarter. Your left eye is -1 minus a quarter. So let's go ahead and get these ready. Again, -50 minus a quarter at 65. I'm going to turn my Marco 101 lensometer on, put the axis wheel at 65. I'm going to take your lens out of the protective sleeve that it comes in. Put the power drum on -50. Let me zero it out. Okay, now I'll put it on -50. Rotate your lens until the sphere power comes in clearly. Check your astigmatism correction. That is good. And I'm going to put 3 dots on your lenses, of which 2 of them are hard to see, so I'm going to darken these. And this is your right lens. Let me do the same thing now for your left lens, which is -1 minus a quarter at 96. So I'm going to spin the axis wheel to 96. Put the power drum on -1. Again, I'm going to rotate your lens until the sphere power, the -1, comes in clearly. Check your astigmatism correction, which is minus a quarter. Put 3 dots on your lenses. Uno, dos, tres, ocho. Alright, I'm just seeing if you're paying attention. But I'm going to grab your lenses now and the sleeves, and go ahead and put this down on the platform to get the lens block. Now this is a block. This is what's going to attach to your lens while it is cutting. That's what's going to hold it in place inside the machine. So I need a double-sided adhesive sticker, and so I've already done that to 2 of these. It's stuck onto this one side. I'm going to pull the tape away to make the other side sticky. Now there's a silver button on the back. That is a magnet that's going to do 2 things. It's going to hold it in place in the chuck and then into this chuck as well, which I need to change out over here in just a moment. Don't let me forget, because the machine won't let me forget. But the reason why I put those 3 dots on there is it has to be oriented in your frame just right for you to see your best. And the center dot is your optical center. So, of course, you can't see those. Where's my cool marking pen? Dun, 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 dun. Even though you can see them here, it doesn't come in good on the optical scanner. So I'm going to darken those. Believe it or not, putting a white dot on here makes them very easy to see. When I place them there, now you can see those 3 dots. And let me do the same thing now for your left lens. Uno, dos, ocho. Alright, those are the only numbers I know. Okay, so this blue cross is your geometric center to the frame. If you measured vertically and horizontally. The exact middle, what you would get, is exactly right there. Now your pupil set's just inset from there, so I'm going to put it there. The other two dots tells me that I'm lined up on this orange line in the center, and they're not off kilter, if you will. So, or as I like to say, not if you will, although you might like to say it too, but I'm just going to get everything dead center. It's just like the crosshairs of a scope, vertically and horizontally. That's going to be dead center in front of your eye. I'm going to hit that button. The arm's going to come down and place the block onto your right lens. I'm going to do the same thing now for your left lens. Grab this other block, or as I like to call Jenny, from the block. Pull the paper away to make this side sticky. Get the magnet lined up so it stays right there. Oh, got to get things lined up. Line them up. Line them up, fellas. Now, Christina works across from Buckhorn, which is where all dreams come true. At least they do for me. So, hit that button. The arm comes down and applies the block to the lens. Now, the actual cutting wheel, now this is the edger. This costs $40,000. I recommend everyone go out and buy one. It weighs 200 pounds. You can put it on your kitchen counter, and then you can cut glasses at home. You won't need me anymore. So the last one I had the smaller chuck. I'm going to take those out. This is what's going to hold your lens in place while it is cutting. It has a little corresponding magnet in there. There it is. See? That holds it there. But I need to go ahead and put this into the machine. So let me do that. Put those in place where it's going to hold your lens. But now I'll show you the cutting wheel. It is this wheel over on the far right that's going to act like a heavy grit sandpaper to grind away your lens material. This wheel in the center with that channel, that valley, that's what's going to hold your lens in place or actually put the V-shaped bevel onto your lens so it stays inside the bevel of the frame. So let's go ahead and put your right lens into the chuck, or as I like to call it, the Charles, because I don't know the machine well enough to call it chuck. Wake the machine up here, and I do not want to polish the lens. I do not want to put a bevel on the front surface, only a light one on the rear surface, and then hit start. So that clamp is going to shut, and then the lens is going to be traced by two white calipers. They're going to make sure that the lens is large enough to fit into the frame, and you can see it as it goes around measuring the shape. It's actually going to do it twice because it's measuring the thickness of the lens at every point to know exactly where to place the lens so it fits best inside the bevel of the frame. I could move the lens forward or backwards if I needed to make it fit in there, so you're going to get the best possible cosmetic finish. Now, if you notice, there is water running in the background, but polycarbonate cuts dry where plastic and high-index plastic cut wet. In just a moment, you'll hear a grinding sound as your lens touches down onto the cutting wheel. Now, your lenses are made out of polycarb. This Essilor brand calls it Airwear. Polycarb is 40% thinner and lighter than regular plastic. It is virtually unbreakable. It is bulletproof up to 22 caliber and has both UVA and UVB protection built into the lens. We know what the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays can do to your skin from overexposure, where your eyes are 8 times more sensitive than your skin. So you have permanent sunscreen for your eyes, which will never need to be reapplied, unlike the lotions, creams, and sprays that you have to reapply when you go outside every couple hours. Now, these are, TR stands for Transition 7. Remember your Roman numerals, V11 is 7, and these are gray. The other nice thing about your lenses are, these are aspheric. That's what AS stands for. It is aspheric. Aspheric simply means not round. A spherical lens is completely round in every direction like a basketball. Aspheric is much flatter. So not only do you have the thinner, lighter weight lenses, but this front curvature is very flat to match the front curvature of the frame. So you're gonna have the best finished cosmetic quality of any possible lens. When you buy glasses from people online, they charge you for plastic lenses. And then if you want to upgrade to the thinner, lighter weight polycarb, which you're getting, they charge you a fee for that. And then if you want the aspheric flat front surface curvature, they pay you a third fee for that. So this is someone else's top tier premium lens that you get for free just by buying the frame from me. Now, if you notice water has begun spraying, that's just to wash away any optical debris. It does this for the last 20 seconds of the cutting cycle. And that little arm that moved into place with that little wheel that looks like something you find on the end of a Dremel tool for polishing, That's exactly what it's doing. It's applying what's known as the safety bevel. It's just going to smooth out the rear surface of the lens so you have no rough edges on the sides of your lens. Now in just a moment this door will open. I will take the lens out. I'm going to dry it off and we'll begin to see if it's going to fit into your frame first time around. It started off this size and now it's this size. So in order to mount your lenses, I'm going to tuck them in at the outside corner, and using my thumbs I press down at the nose and it snaps right in. I'm going to clean that up there in a little bit. But let's go ahead and put your left lens in, flip that over to L and hit start. Just like before, that door is going to close, the clamp's going to shut, and then the lens is going to move into place and be traced by the calipers again, but it's going to trace the shape of the left side of the frame. That is the shape that it's doing. You can take that and put it there. And again, measuring twice to measure the thickness of the lens to know exactly where and precisely to place the bevel, so you have no edge thickness whatsoever. And again, let me take this block off since it's no longer needed. Pull the sticker off. Dry everything off there. I'm going to leave that red dot. But you can see the front curvature of the lens matches the curvature of the frame, so you're going to have the best finished cosmetic quality of any lens that you can purchase. Of course, the lenses are free. But let's go ahead and measure, read the prescription off of here. I'm going to spin the axis wheel back to 65. Hopefully you can see that between 60 and 70. I'm going to put your right lens in right back over that red dot there, which is your optical center. And I'm going to read the prescription. And I'm getting -50, which is exactly halfway between 0 and 1. That's where you'd find 0.5, halfway between 0 and 1. I'm going to check your astigmatism correction, and we're at 0.75. The way that works is the unit of measurement we use in the optical world is called a diopter, and that's spelled D-I-O-P-T-E-R, and it starts at 0, which is also known as plano. Other people call it non-prescription, and goes out from there. You almost have them represented here. 0.25, 0.50, 0.75, 1, and so on, and you keep going higher up to -20, really. Those people really need their glasses. But you need 2 steps of correction for your farsightedness. Everything from hands inward, from what you can reach, is great. What's beyond arm's reach starts to get blurry, so you need 2 steps of correction for your farsightedness to make everything far away. Without your glasses on, everything is actually much larger in real life than it appears. So when you put your glasses on, it will minify down to the correct size. So you need 2 steps of minification. Now, the second number is your astigmatism correction. Now, there is a stigma over the word astigmatism. It just means shape. It's like saying someone has straight hair, someone else has curly hair. It is not a disease. It is not an affliction. This first number makes everything the correct size. Astigmatism is what makes 6s and 8s look alike, or the letters P and F. It makes everything look blurry. So this number, we get everything the correct size. This number will take away those fuzzy edges. If you think of it as the fine-tune knob. We're going to turn that fine-tune knob to 65. A straight line is 0 to 180 with 90 being in the center. We're going to turn that knob to about 65 to make everything clear. Now your left eye is a little bit worse. You need 4 steps of correction for your farsightedness, but again only 1 step of correction for astigmatism. But we're going to turn that fine-tune knob to 96. So we start at 0, we get to 90, and then we're just beyond 90 at 96. We're just like turning that knob to make everything nice and crisp. So let's go ahead and take your left lens out. Let's see if it's going to fit into your frame. And let me scrape the last residue. In fact, let me do the same thing now for your right eye, because I remember seeing some of that on there. This is optical sawdust. See, it just fell right off there. I just want to use my thumbnail and clean all the debris away from your lens. That is your right lens. Let me tuck that in there. I'm going to do the same thing for your left. I'm going to tuck it in at the outside corner, and then using my thumbs, I press down at the nose. That snaps in perfectly. I'm going to take this block off, peel that sticker off. That is not needed anymore. Dry everything off while leaving that red dot. Now I'm going to put it in over that red dot, and I'm going to turn it back to 96, which is the fine-tune knob. That tells me if everything is turned exactly where it should be. I'm going to put it in, and I'm getting -1, which is the sphere power for your left eye. And then with 1 step of astigmatism correction, we're at -1 1/4. You remember high school algebra where you add 2 like signs together? Well, of course no one does. But you know today's terms. If someone borrowed $1 and then they borrowed another 25 cents, they would owe you $1.25. we're at 1.25. That works the same way. So that is made correctly. Your pupillary distance is 57. That is between the center of one pupil to the center of the other. So I'm going to flip this over. I'm going to place the 0 against my thumb on your right lens. That's inches. Let's turn it over to millimeters. And when we hold it up to the left lens, we're getting 57 millimeters. So that is made perfectly. Now, one thing I like to do at this point while I'm cleaning your lenses is explain to you, Christina, that when you get these in the mail, and by the way, free shipping anywhere in the United States, but when you get these in the mail, there's a small chance that these could be too loose, or there's a small chance that these could be too tight. However, there's an 80% chance that one side is going to sit higher than the other as such. And that's because 80% of people have one ear that is higher than the other. Because of that, that's why 99% of all optical shops will do free adjustments if you ask them. But I'm going to get them in standard alignment first, also known as a 3-point stance. The 3 points are 1, 2, and 3. So I'm going to place these on the counter and press down. There is no wobble. When I say wobble, I'm part of that 80%. When I take mine off and press down, they wobble on the counter, but they sit level on me. I'm going to flip them over, check them out. They sit even. Close each temple to make sure they overlap perfectly, and they do. And so this is what your lenses look like clear. And let's go ahead and activate them for the first time, which means let's turn them dark. I'm going to expose them to a strong burst of ultraviolet light in my little transitions box here. Now, as you can see, it takes about 30 to 45 seconds for the transition lenses to darken. It takes a little bit longer when you come back inside, 45 seconds to 1:15 to return back to clear. Now, Christina, this is important. Pay attention. All transition lenses will turn dark on day 1. Give them 2 weeks. They're going to have exposure to the sun, and they're going to continue to darken every day for the first 2 weeks until they get to their final setting. After that, they will work for years with maximum performance. The only time they will not work is if you're behind your windshield in a traditional car. You have to have direct exposure to the sun because your windshield absorbs all the sun's UV rays to prevent your upholstery from rotting or your dashboard from cracking from sitting in the sun all day. That's why they don't turn dark in a car. Now, if you have a convertible or a motorcycle, they will darken. They're also temperature sensitive, meaning that when it's slightly cooler, they get darker than they do when it's extremely hot. When it's 100 degrees outside, you're miserable, they're miserable, everyone's miserable. Nobody likes to work 100% when it's 100 degrees outside. So, Christina, this is the first time they've been activated. Don't worry, they're going to keep getting darker. Remember, we talked about this. So, if anyone has any questions about what I can or can't do, just email me at freeprescriptionlenses@gmail.com. Christina, I hope you enjoyed watching as I made prescription lenses with transitions for your RayBan 9052S, color 100 in the 47 eye size, the Junior Wayfarer. And hopefully everyone else has got the chance to see how I bring that love and feeling back to glasses. Thank you.